And we're doing it. We're live, 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 live. Breaking Raw is live. We're back. We're awake, barely. And we got a shit show to discuss tonight, ladies and gentlemen. But first, let me introduce my good friend, my brother, my tag team partner in crime and this show, the one and the only, Mr. Johnny HotBody. What's going on, bro?
Not a whole lot, my friend. The charming one. I'm glad to see that you were able to stay awake this week. I know last week I wasn't able to. I actually thought you were going to be sleeping as this show ended, and I was in the backstage studio. I was like, "Oh man, I hope he didn't fall asleep." And I thought to myself, maybe he has some very interesting ways of writing this stuff. So maybe it'll seem good to the people out there that actually think that this stuff is good.
You know what? I did a lot of writing tonight, but
Yes.
none of it was any good. And it was a lot, you know what? It was a lot of commercials and a lot of gibberish promos that did nothing.
Funny you should mention commercials. Did you know that well, you do know this. If you're not paying for the top tier, which I understand that even if you are paying for the top tier in Netflix, you do get commercials. It depends
Oh,
on, oh yeah, it depends on what you're viewing, whether they want to prompt commercials or not. So let's say you're watching one of the movies that
okay.
they offer you, like few oh boy, the Mad Max series, the new Mad Max series with whatever Thunder, whatever it is. Okay,
Whatever it is.
you might not get commercials with that because you paid the top dollar. But if you're watching their shows that they're producing or whatever, they want to run commercials, they run commercials. But the commercials are 3 minutes in allotment, and you figure you have over 13 to 15 breaks per a 3 hour show. So it's over 2 hour. It's over. We got 3 hours. It's 45 minutes to 50 minutes worth of commercial time, which leaves 2 hours and 10 minutes. You got four. You got four matches. You figure 20 minutes space timed for each one of those episodes, and then you run these bullshit vignettes. You're not getting much wrestling.
No.
Going to Netflix was the biggest mistake that they made. I told you this. TKO was another big mistake. The wrestling fans, the true wrestling fans, are starting to see where this is going, and it's not looking good for Triple Nose. I've told you this. I've told you this. They're running this evolution. They put no time or effort into it. They have an arena that I believe holds 18,000. They allowed 6,000 seats, and they only sold 2,000
I was going to say, they only
or
sold like a
three.
quarter of the seats.
Yeah, and for the Saturday night main event, same deal. They've sold 10,000 seats, and I believe they opened it up for 12,000 seats. So on that end, they'll make money, but they don't care about the fans. They don't care. They don't care how much they're bleeding from your hard-earned dollar. I told you this from the beginning. This is the downfall of professional wrestling, and I can't wait to see it all backslide. And then when Vince McMahon finally takes over, I get to laugh at everyone and go, "I told you so." Vince never stepped away from his company, regardless what the minions will chat about. When shareholders buy shares and stocks, that doesn't mean that they own the company. It means they own imaginary stocks, because everyone knows there's no money in those markets. It's a game of chance at best. There's a lot of back manipulating that goes on. They're the only people that are allowed to make money. The Pelosi's is just to name a small family. Yeah, right. They were
A small
inside.
family.
Yeah, they don't own Starkist tuna, Bumblebee tuna, and Nancy Pelosi doesn't make money off of tuna fish. You don't have to believe me. you know. But anyway, this is about wrestling, not
Well,
politics, because
well,
when it comes to politics, we all know only fools follow politics.
well. Let me say this. Um, so last week, I did not realize of the early start, which threw me off. So when I went back and watched it, I was saying to myself, "Oh, this is great. There's no commercials. It was commercial free." But here's what I realized, because I'm like, "Damn, this fucking show's going long. What's going on? There's no commercials." Now I'm watching the show literally commercial free, but I'm still seeing what's going on in the ring now. So it's not like they were cutting away to go to commercial and I'm losing what's in the ring. Now I was able to watch and not miss anything. So I didn't cut my actual viewing time down. So I was like, shit, okay. But on to what you said, this weekend, and I didn't even realize until earlier tonight, you have three shows in one weekend. So you have Saturday afternoon, you have the NXT Great American Bash, you have Saturday night's main event in the evening, and then Sunday night you have the Evolution show, which, like you said, they're literally just throwing this together, and the girls are not happy because also too, like Johnny said, there's not a lot of tickets sold, and a big part of that reason also too, I'll say two reasons. Number one, for local Atlanta fans, the building next door has Beyonce in concert. So you have that against them. And then also too, they're going head to head with AEW's All In show or whatever it's called. So it's very bad planning.
From what I hear, the All In is their WrestleMania. You also have today the sad news of Kenny Omega not being able to wrestle much longer. He's
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's one of the greatest talents that's ever been in the ring and never even cared to ever be in the WWF's locker room. I mean, the WWE's locker room. I know the reasons why, but we're not going to discuss those reasons because we're not allowed. We're not going to talk about these touchy subjects that are life, life, life lessons. But anyway, yeah, AEW is going to take the hold.
You've been saying, look, you've been saying this for at least 6 months.
They're going to get a booker. They're going to get a booker, and hopefully, it's not that idiot, dirty Dutch jobber Mantel. He's the biggest moron to ever get on the mic. He thinks that Karrion Kross's character would get over more if Scarlett has an affair with one of the other boys.
What?
This dude is a moron. You know, Dutch. What you should stick to is sucking on that cigar that Jerry gives you.
All right. So let's real quick before we get in the show. Michelle Stern, as always, in the house. Thank you, Michelle. Good evening, guys. And Monday commercials extravaganza.
Yep, over 45 minutes worth of commercials.
Unbelievable.
And then you have over 40 minutes worth of promos that were worthless.
Worthless.
And then you had the matches, which we're going to get into. And, there's a lot to be said about these matches. And I have a lot to say, as usual.
Gianni, our brother Gianni is in the house. He says, good evening, my brothers.
Hello, Gianni.
I can see the shirts now. Have a picture of Johnny on it with his arm saying, I told you so. That should be, dude, that should be a shirt. You have the fucking shirt with your arms at. The picture with your arms out. That's perfect.
There should be a shirt saying that Johnny's the one that came up with we wrestled, we brawled, we started it all. Also, hashtag Johnny HotBody. because when it comes to everything in professional wrestling, when Johnny HotBody speaks, everyone should listen. I know more about wrestling than the average idiot.
For the record,
And I'm talking about all those guys with podcasts just to be on the record.
I finally got the chance to sit and watch One and Done over the weekend, and I'll
You
discuss it
did a
with you off air.
fantastic job, brother. You really did.
Thank you.
It's a shame that there's knuckleheads in every single great event that happens. And you know me, I was happy about everything, but I will be the first to point out the morons when there were morons. And I will be the first to say what's on my mind and not give a rat's ass who likes it.
I'll say two things real quick before we get into the show. Watching Tony's and Mike Bruno's match and the whole thing actually brought tears to my eyes. And I texted Tony. I was really watching. I was really moved. They did a hell of a job. And also too, Vicious Vicky and Tessa Blanchard, without a doubt, match of the night, and could have been on fucking Raw. It could have been on Evolution. They did a phenomenal job.
I told you that before the match even took place or before the event even came up. When you told me Tess was on the card, I totally flipped that. I marked out, and I don't mark out to anyone. I think she's her, Stephanie Valkyr,
Mm-hmm.
and Rhea Ripley are definitely three of the hottest girls in professional wrestling.
Agreed.
And I'm not talking about their bodies. I'm
Yeah.
talking about their bodies of work.
Mm-hmm.
Their high ratings are above everyone else's. And Liv Morgan's in there too.
Absolutely.
Liv
Absolutely.
and it's an insult to call her Shawn Michaels, because Shawn Michaels was a creep.
Without a doubt. Gianni says if these shows look sold out, it's because they're going to WCW route and giving tickets away for free. Think about that for a minute. And Gianni, he actually he worked the show last week in Pittsburgh. Do you know, was any free tickets given away in Pittsburgh? Like an enormous amount, not like normal ticket giveaways.
They are not free tickets. I told you, I tried to explain this to the fans, and every week I talk about the sold shows. They don't care. They do not care, because the municipalities, the cities, the boroughs, they spend the taxpayers' monies,
Mm-hmm.
and they buy these shows right out so that they could make tax revenue off of these seats that are these shows that are paid for with taxpayers' money. Just think of that a moment. You know, there's a lot that we talk about here that no one else does, Chubby. And I'm going to tell you something, bro. I don't hold no punches back, and I know what I'm talking about. You could look into these things. You know, Carmella last week, I was on her show, and I mistakenly said that Elvis Presley threw a pool cue at Anne Margaret's breast, and she took umbrage up to what I said. You know, you checked your facts, and you're right. I was wrong. It was Shirley MacLaine. Regardless of who it was, Elvis Presley was still a low-life dirtbag. And it seems like all these guys that attach the King name to themselves are a bunch of that, dirtbags. No matter who the King may be, always will be a bunch of dirtbags. Most of them are pedophiles.
And there you go. So let's start the show. And speaking of starting the show, Ken, it seems like every freaking week, in and out, Seth Rollins starts the show. And I literally, at that point when he came out, I turned to Coco and I said, you know what? In all reality, he has to start the show, because they've tried putting they'll let Seth go 3 weeks, start the show, and then they'll put somebody else out there, and the show starts with a dud. When he starts the show, it's not a dud.
That depends on what you call a dud. You put
I,
shit, you put gold, you put gold on shit. It may shine, but it's still shit.
today.
You are correct. You are correct when you say that Seth Rollins at this point is carrying the show. And
Mm-hmm.
it's funny because you would think the high roller CM Punk would be carrying the show. For the most part, Seth Rollins has to carry the show because Roman Reigns is busy making movies. Everyone's making movies. These guys don't care about the product. They got their $1 million contract. They don't have to be there. Let the mid card guys be your TV show until it's time to hype a pay per view. This is the common formula of the show since Triple H has taken it over, Bay. And this is the truth. I'm sorry, Chubby. Since
Same guy.
yeah, you're right. But you know what? You're not, Bay. We're talking wrestling, and you're Chubby because you are knowledgeable about wrestling. Most wrestling that is not WWE. You know, you did yourself a favor and you didn't follow it for the most part. But like you said, Seth Rollins is carrying the show at this point, and sticking him with blowhard penguin, uh, Paul Heyman, doesn't make the show get any more higher ratings or lower ratings. Every week they started it for the longest time with the bloodline. Eventually they shoot themselves in the foot with these things that they just keep repeating and repeating and repeating and repeating. I told you, wash, rinse,
Repeat.
repeat.
What
This
did
is
you
the
think?
mark. This is the mark of very, very, very poor writing.
Yeah. Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. And somebody said something to me during the week. It might have been Gianni. I, and it maybe I might be wrong, Gianni. I might be throwing you under the bus. But somebody said something about the storylines and all that, and they were whoever it was, they were blaming Triple H, and I said, well, Triple H is the final say, but what about them 35 writers they have in a room writing all this stuff, presenting it to Triple H? Like they
Listen,
got to take some blame too.
yeah, but here's how it goes. And everybody's going to see it on the show that they're about to expose the business, and people are freaking out over it. Yeah,
Oh
because
yeah,
it's
that writer's show.
you know what, man, all you idiots that are out there that don't like it, shut up, because you shouldn't be watching this product at all. If you really don't like anything, it should be the whole product and all. You know, they're going to expose the business, and what they're going to show you is a bunch of nitwits that don't have a clue at all. They throw shit at the nose and to Paul, and don't give them an idea. And it's no different than what was ECW. The boys would come up with the
Sure,
ideas.
sure.
They would go to the bloated genius idiot that never had a thought he didn't steal. But anyway, um, yeah, they go to that idiot, and then they run their idea, and then they'll sit there and they'll go,
Well, hey, that
I
happens in
don't
every
like that
federation.
idea. I don't like that idea. But then they walk away and they'll give it to their boys and they present it to them, and they want them to be able to make something out of it. Oh, just do whatever you can. Listen, you got the writing you said isn't Triple Nose's fault. It is his fault. He hired Road Dog, who was a Road Dog. He served this country. He put on the Marine outfit. He did a great thing there. When it comes to wrestling, he had a gift of gab like no one else. I think he was as good as Jim Cornette, and many will tell you so am I. I think I'm better than both. I know what I'm talking about, and I'm not being told what to say. But anyway, um, Road Dog doesn't have a clue about writing or producing. He really doesn't. Okay, they got the Undertaker, Mark. Mark. you were the Undertaker, but let's face it. If you look back on your career, your shit was weak at best. The guys you were in the ring with made you look good. I remember when you were in WCW, NWA, you really weren't that good. Now, as far as your ideas go, The Undertaker wasn't your idea, and it wasn't Percival Percy the Third, Pringle the Third. It was all Vince McMahon's writings. See, this is the problem. The boys get the ideas from a guy like Vince, and then they're able to perform and to make something out of it. But when it comes to Triple Nose giving these guys something, it's not working. None of it is, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, what did you think of the promo starts and instantly Braun Breaker takes the microphone and gets on and starts on a tirade about Sami Zayn?
First of all, Braun Breaker shouldn't be grabbing a mic because he messed up. He flubbed it. He definitely flubbed it. If you paid attention, he flubbed it. He went to the ropes. He grabbed it and he did that. You dumb moron. You sound like the Taz. Oh, that was another idiot that couldn't cut a promo. Taz, another brilliant moron. But anyway, yeah, I don't hold back on anybody.
Just read the ticker below.
Yeah, you could read that ticker. I don't think Braun Breaker should be cutting promos. His in ring talent is he's starting to get better.
Absolutely.
With his abilities in the ring. No one ever say anything negative about his work at all. The dude is badass with his work. It's that mic work that'll bring you down.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to see a guy that had the body but lacked the brains and lacked the ability to work the mic, just think about Lex Luger. Need I say more?
Absolutely. Well, how about and this shocked me too because I never even heard him talk. They handed the mic to Bronson Reed and let him talk. And I think, like you're saying about Breaker, he's starting to come along. He's starting to rise to the occasion. I am this past month, I am highly, 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 especially the last 2 weeks, impressed with Bronson Reed more and more. That motherfucker, for being a 350-pound guy, whatever he is, he can fucking work.
How's this for Bronson Reed? Watch Shark Week.
Watch Shark Week, okay?
Yeah, you ever watch Shark Week? Discovery Channel, Shark Week, any of
Right.
that? You ever watch it? Bronson Reed's got some part with it, man. He does a good commercial. Dude's pretty good. He's good on the mic, and he definitely could work. I like that he's not he has an accent, a British accent.
I was gonna say, what is he?
An Australian?
Yeah, I was gonna say, is he Australian?
I believe. But you know what? Regardless of that, the dude can work, and
Absolutely.
he's definitely 10 times better than Braun Breaker on the mic.
Yeah.
You know, it's like when Road Warrior, Hawk and Animal. Yeah.
Well,
yeah. Mike was able to cut one of the great.
Yeah.
He was great with his interviews, and then when you talked to Joe, it was like,
give it back to Paul.
Give it to Paul Ellering. Paul Ellering was even better on the mic, you know. But yeah, come on, we're talking. Come on, man, this is fun.
All right, next up we had Judgment Day promo backstage in their little setup, and Roxanne Perez had like a little like it was a funeral with flowers and a Liv Morgan picture and some candles, and Raquel was not too happy about it. She even made the comment, she's not dead, she's coming back. But we're not going to see her until 2026. So
are you serious?
Yeah, she will not be back until 2026.
That's a shame. And if that's the truth, see, I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
I didn't hear that. But go ahead.
It ended up when she had surgery 2 weeks ago. It was a lot worse than they expected. So they said she'll be out 6 months. So they're saying earliest is January. of next year. She'll be back. Now the interesting thing, the thing that you would think is they're going to keep the straps on them, and they're going to end up eventually building a true rapport between the two. Liv's going to come back, you would think, and become a face and feud with them, blah blah blah. But I could already see them setting up to drop the straps this weekend to Kari and Asuka.
See, I told you this 2 weeks ago that this was what they were going to do. And from everything I've heard, Liv's going to be back sooner
Okay.
than later. Okay. That's why you have Dom say, was it Dom saying I had a shoulder surgery?
Oh, Finn.
Finn say they're pushing that total angle and everything, and not for nothing. This could be. WE's been known to pull a swerve,
Sure.
and not for nothing. Do you really know if she was had that surgery? I mean, they have
I wasn't there.
A press junket. Neither was I. They do have press junket. They also do have what do you call that? The people that write the stories for you.
Sure.
PR, your PR, your public relations people. They write the stories. Did you ever hear the stories that WrestleMania puts out on YouTube channel? I
didn't know they were
the biggest idiot in the world, man.
So I didn't know they were a YouTube channel. They just started popping up on my Facebook, and I've been seeing stuff. That's where I saw about the ticket sales for Evolution.
Yeah, they're a bunch of idiots, man. But anyway, yeah. I think I told you that this would be the way to bring Liv back strong and make her a face, and you're absolutely right. And I could see her being mad at Finn Balor and start the feud between Finn Balor and Dirty Dom, and Liv, and she'll be going against what's her name, Perez and Rodriguez, without a doubt, and it gives her a lot of programming, which will keep her fresh. They have a lot of writing ability with that angle right there for at least a year and a half's worth of TV, and I know they'll drop the ball on it.
Most likely, but I also feel too, and we saw a little taste of it. I guess it was at WrestleMania when Dom kind of had that little face turn for a second and won the strap. People went fucking bananas. So just you can only imagine when and we've said it before, when he eventually fully turns face, and with her turning face, I think it would be huge for both of them.
Yeah, and you want to know something. Here's where WE drops the ball again. They're hurting in ratings. They really, really are. They have nothing. They're giving you Seth. They're giving you Seth. They're giving you Seth. And then they're giving you Seth's wife, Reds.
Oh, yeah. Becky Lynch.
They're giving you her with her stupid story with Stephanie and Bailey, whatever. Come on, man. You guys got a chance to make epic TV, high ratings when you turn Dirty Dom and Liv. It'll be the best ratings they've had in a long time. They could do so much with them as face.
Agreed. Magic Mike joins the show. He says, "What's up, guys?"
Hello, Mike.
Gianni says, "Throw shit at the wall and see what sticks." And yeah, that's basically what they do.
You know what? Yo, Chubb, they don't throw shit at the wall and see what sticks. They've been doing this forever, man.
Well, a lot of times they are throwing shit.
Well, they're throwing shit into people's face, but they're not throwing it at the walls, because the first thing they're thinking of is, how many T-shirts can I sell with this opportunity right now?
True. Gianni says Liv might be filming a movie. There's a possibility she might not have an injury.
That's what I'm telling you. That's what I'm telling you, Chubby. Just like The other one got put through a windshield.
Yeah,
Jay
Jade
Cargill,
Cargill.
when she was learning how to wrestle.
And look
Somebody
how good
forgot to
that did.
tell her. Somebody supposed to forgot to teach her. I heard Shawn Michaels was working with her.
Oh, oh boy. All right, so we're going to get into the first match, which Magic Mike says Kari Sane versus Roxanne was amazing. Roxanne did great. I loved the armbar bridge. I personally thought the match was shit.
Oh, listen, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. How are you jumping ahead and commenting on that? Take that back, Chubby.
All right, I'm going to take
Rewind.
it back.
Hit the
Whoop.
rewind button. Well, let's go to the next match.
Well, no,
We're
that
not
was the
going to
first match.
What
That was
was
the first
that?
match. Kari Sane versus Roxanne Perez. First match of the
Oh,
night.
we didn't even talk about it.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Well,
That
listen,
I,
here
I
we
wanted to
go.
put his comment up there first, so then we
All
can
right.
dissect it.
All right, here we go. Rosie Perez sucks. I tell you this every week. She sucks. And as far as her being in there with the girl that's broken more careers than any other female wrestler, this pirate gimmick. Listen, man, this is a joke. She's a joke. The whole
She
thing
makes
is
me
a
nervous in
joke.
the ring.
I cannot stand her. She listen. First of all, she said something like, "Oh, I was told I'm not allowed to say it because I would seem insensitive." I'm not allowed to talk about. I'm not allowed to talk
And it,
about
not for me.
Kyrie Sane. Okay, the girl's the worst, man. She should be making takeout food in some Chinese restaurant in my neighborhood. That's all I'll say.
Doesn't she? She makes me nervous. Like, look, she's hurt two people in the last few months, but I just feel like at any moment, like she just seems very unstable in the ring, and you
And
saw
before
a lot of flubs because of that tonight.
Yeah, there was a whole bunch of flubbing
Yes,
going on. And for
absolutely.
Mike Ferreira to say that was a great match, I know he was being sarcastic.
I mean,
That match did suck. Okay,
it
there
did.
was nothing good
I was
about it.
disappointed.
This Perez, they're putting her on a pedestal like she's going to replace Liv Morgan. It'll never happen. As a matter of fact, they should take away her TV time and give it to Stephanie Valkyr. That's who deserves the
Yeah,
TV time.
she has not been on TV the last few weeks.
Yeah, I know that. And I think she was engaged or something to somebody who
Okay.
was lucky enough to score that
Yeah.
find.
Right.
But anyway, yeah, she should be getting the TV time, not this Perez because she's friends with Booker T. You know, if she's Booker T's prodigy, there's a lot to be said to Booker T's training,
Now,
and
you
you
know what?
seen that tonight. You
I,
definitely seen that tonight, man.
I see. I like her work. I usually like her matches, and I like her work tonight. I was like, oh, not
Listen,
good.
when we speak about liking these people's work, you have to remember that when they're in the ring with a talent that's good, yeah, then it's easy for them to look good.
Yeah,
Okay. It's like when you put Cody Rhodes and John Cena together. That's some of the worst wrestling you'll ever see. That's like saying William Shatner's a great fucking actor. You know what I mean? But anyway, as far as Kyrie Sane goes, you said she hurt two people in a row. Actually, she hurt three. She even hurt herself when she was
oh,
here. The first time when she was here, when she came to the ring and she would jump off the top of the rope, spinning her umbrella and doing this thing like she's going to do some pirate. Listen, the pirates, that the last time there were any pirates, they were the Spaniards, I believe, and they were all killed for being reckless. Okay.
she is reckless.
She's reckless, exactly. She's a buccaneer. She sucks. Get rid of her. Get rid of Perez. Put some good talent on that screen. There's a lot of girls that deserve the TV time, and those two definitely do not.
Well, we saw Kyrie go over in the match. Uh, Afterwards, Raquel got in. She was ringside the whole match. She gets in, attacks, and then Asuka comes out and makes the save to set up for which was announced a few minutes later. There were Kabuki Warriors taking on Raquel and Roxanne for the tag straps this Sunday night at Evolution.
See what I mean about week writing and week setting up a pay per view a week before. A week before the pay per view, you come up and the best thing you could come with is Asuka and Carrie Saints. Call them the Kabuki Warriors, and you know they're getting the straps because Asuka. She's definitely deserving of the strap, and she
Yeah.
will be handed that strap. And Kyrie, she's just fortunate enough to be in Asuka's company at this point. And yeah, unfortunately, fortunately, however you would want to say it, those two will take the title, and you will see a program start between Perez and Rodriguez first.
And
I'm calling it here.
and they'll get the straps back. Then they'll win the straps, them two, which will really set up for the faced return of Liv.
That's right.
Look,
Next,
we're writing it right now better
listen
than
when we
the writers.
listen. They really need us. When you have like I said earlier, dirty moron Dutch Mantel saying that the writers should do this and this, and he doesn't have a clue what day of the week it is, and he's giving an opinion. And then you know who else is being formulating an opinion right now? Who, you know, Tony and me didn't beat him up enough. This kid's still running his mouth. Stevie Richards. I can't stand that creep. Another one. Another creep. Too good for Joel.
You know, he actually has um, the second.
An ego bigger than
Well,
Ric Flair's.
he's got the second highest rated wrestling podcast right now.
He won't if you and I just keep doing what we're doing.
Well, in that case, everybody needs to start going down below and make sure they hit like, subscribe, ring bells, and come along for the ride for
I
us.
believe our last event we did when we recapped a live event had over 121 views, and that's not bad.
It was a good one. It was a good one.
Yeah, and we're going to be doing better, my brother, because everyone knows it. I am better than Jim Cornette is Jim Cornette.
Well, next up on the show, we had Sami Zayn promo backstage talking about the upcoming match later that night with Braun Breaker. And it was also discussing Karrion Kross, that he can't worry about Kross right now. He's got to worry about Breaker. And then he walks away, and Scarlett comes up the ring, up to the camera, and just she said what she said one word. I don't even remember what the hell she said.
Doesn't matter what she said. If they gave her more than one word, she'd probably forget it anyway. You know, I told you, be careful what you ask for when it comes to this Karrion Kross.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm guessing they obviously gave him a contract if they're starting to build an angle around one of the top guys in the company.
Listen, this is one of the top guys at the company. You see things a lot differently than I. You're wearing rosy sunglasses, my friend. The number one selling shirts right now, believe it or not, are Karrion Kross, and that's the only reason why they're giving him a shot. Because when they let idiots online give an opinion and voice opinion and
like us
and gang stalk gang stalk Triple Nose to the point that he's afraid to do what he should do. Leave the fans out of wrestling and just write the wrestling for the real fan, the sports fan, not the kids. You sold the shows already. The least you could do is give the adults that are taking their kids there something to see. Yeet.
Yeet.
Triple Nose.
All right, Gianni Gianni says he sent me a picture tonight at Raw. Now, Gianni, when was this picture? Because there's like 20 people in the crowd. Like, what time of the day? Did the doors just open? I mean, this is
What show was this he's talking? He's
he
sending
he sent me a picture. I mean, it's an empty arena. You're not gonna be able to
of
see it
what week?
tonight. Tonight, I guess somebody sent it to him. So let me see if he comments. Let me run through.
Oh, please don't. We're going to get held up for an hour and a half. That's a joke, Gianni.
But I will put this on the screen that he said. Stephanie is the hottest thing going today. Take that for what it's worth. And it's the truth. She will be the number one girl in that company in 6 months. Michelle says,
yeah.
God awful match. Both of them just suck. Way too many flubs.
Not according to Mike.
Magic Mike says it was a great match.
I think he's being sarcastic. I really believe Mike is a lot smarter than that as a wrestling fan. Not unless he just likes seeing ugly women wrestle.
Michelle says Stevie is nothing but a wannabe Shawn Michaels. Laugh out loud. Well, that's who he modeled his whole wrestling thing after, back when we were in wrestling school. And me personally, I got nothing against Richards.
You don't have anything against any of these guys.
No, if I have somebody,
your friends when they're not your friends, man.
If I have something against somebody, I'll say it.
Yeah,
you know who I have something against right now. Everybody does. Mike says Yeet and CM Punk shirts are the highest selling. I could see.
No, they're not, Mike. No, they're not, Mike. Karrion Kross is. Why don't you look it up, Michael?
We need to
I'm not going to argue with you anyway. When I speak, I know what I'm talking about.
All right. So next up, we had another promo, American Made, and they found out that El Grande Americano was going to be wrestling tonight, and one of the brothers started saying, "How's that happening? Chad's not here." Oh,
let me tell you something. Ludwig, what is that? That's his name, right?
Yeah.
Ludwig is doing one hell of a job stepping in and attempting to do lucha style.
It's Lucha
on
Ludwig.
The fly.
Lucha Ludwig.
Yeah, Lucha Ludwig. Let me tell you, I've always said this. This kid is a talent.
Absolutely.
And he deserves a push when all this is all said and done. He definitely deserves to be on the main roster as a main figure.
You know, it's funny because when you watched him walk down the aisle, and even multiple times in the match, he did the Ludwig walk.
Yes, he did.
He had to keep correcting himself. It's too funny. After that, then they had a Nikki Bella promo talking about this whole evolution thing.
I thought she was talking about Botox and feeling it or marriage.
Dude, how about, and this is where I feel this is now a slap in the face, because with this whole evolution thing, I wish I had, the card in front of me, what they have announced so far, but there's a battle royal, a fucking battle royal they're doing with, you got, Nikki Bella in there. Here, they did a promo later in the show that Stephanie Valkyrie is in the battle royal. How do you have truly one of the number one talents in your company, Stephanie Valkyrie, and you're throwing her in a battle royal?
They're dropping the ball. I've told you this. And, eventually they're going to call you and me up and we're going to have a job here and we get to fire all these worthless hacks.
Gianni, tell me about the picture. That's what I want to know. I don't know. Hopefully your Wi-Fi is fixed. He's talking about his Wi-Fi. No, Magic Mike says no. It was a great match. He loved it.
All right, next. I'm not going to comment.
All right. So next up, and the crazy thing is, I did a lot of writing tonight. You can't really tell, but all the way through the first half of my page, the one side of my page, and then we're finally getting to the second match, and it was literally over an hour into the show. And finally, we're getting Sami Zayn versus Braun Breaker, which Sammy's walking down the aisle. Out of nowhere, Karrion Kross comes running down with his pipe and attacks Sammy and starts beating on him. And, like, what is going on? Where are we going with this?
All right, this is what I would do with this. I'd write Sammy off TV, put him under a mask, and make him be El Grande Americana. Okay, that's what I would do with Sami Zayn. Since the only thing that Gianni swears he was great at is wrestling as a Generico or something,
Right.
El Generico. I don't know. Sami Zayn is a waste of talent. Yeah, he could work, but nowadays it seems like everybody could work. If you watch the commercials, every rapper, every basketball star, every football player, every Netflix superstar that has a show, everyone, including some dude, Little Wheezy. What was the moron's name that punched Cody in the face? Wait a minute, I take that back. He wasn't a moron. He did the right thing. I would have punched Cody in the face too. But who was that guy?
Um,
Travis Scott?
that's him. That's him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Even this 80-pound pencil pushing geek. Yeah, these guys do. Wrestling is so ruined, and I told you this. It's going to kill itself. Wrestling killed wrestling the business. That'll be the movie starring Johnny HotBody.
All right. Well, we get to set up, and we actually get to go to a commercial break while they finally get Sammy revived and put him in the ring. And Braun comes down and literally basically just destroys him. Sammy gets a
Job
couple.
him.
Yeah, he jobbed him out. Sammy gets a little slight comeback, little ray of hope, which quickly gets snuffed out. Um, Pinned 1, 2, 3 breaker. We saw that coming. Um, yeah. All right. Next up, backstage again. War Raiders talking with Adam Pierce, trying to get their tag team shot again, title shot. And in comes, which I thought was hysterical, the New Day in black veils and in mourning, which was fucking hysterical. And the thing that put it over was Becky Lynch. When she came out and she came in walking by and she offers her condolences. I thought that was fucking hysterical.
Yeah, yeah. Imagine that it took the man to come in and pull the segment together
Yeah,
because other than that, it was going nowhere.
it was. It
Listen,
really
these
was.
these these two the War Raiders, they look when they speak, they should be doing a commercial for Sweet and Low. Okay, as far as New Day goes, those two guys are very talented. It's a shame that their tag team title run is an afterthought, just like all tag team title runs are in Raw.
Well, every title run seems that way now. It seems once you lose the belt, you don't get a rematch until 3, 4, 5 months later. It seems.
Well, do you think you really deserve a rematch if you go to the back of the line? That's always been the rules of wrestling, buddy. What do you think? You get a
Yeah,
participant.
usually
All right, wait a
usually you
minute.
got
I
a
forgot.
rematch.
You're one of them guys that wants to give everybody flowers. It's a being part of the participation award ceremony. Everybody gets flowers and trophies.
There you go.
This is what's wrong
Get
with
those
your
flowers.
newfangled generation of kids. You were probably born in the 80s or in the
I
90s.
was born
You
in
drank a lot of Mountain
1970.
Dew. And speaking
Drank
about
a lot of
Mountain
Mountain Dew.
Dew, listen, speaking of Mountain Dew, you ever see the guy that comes out in the commercial for Mountain Dew with the lime green jacket? Yeah, there's a commercial for Mountain Dew. The guy's a little Mountain Dew. He's a little Mountain Dew guy. He's
Okay.
got he stole his gimmick from Seth Rollins because it looks like they couldn't afford to get Seth Rollins to do the commercial, so they got the dude, the do. That's what his name is, the dude.
The
Okay,
dude.
yeah, he wears a lime green jacket, and he definitely looks like Seth Rollins. But I mean, Seth, yeah, Seth. Let's go next. My apologies.
All
It
right.
was. I don't know what he's talking.
Yeah. All right. So, uh, as we said about Becky Lynch, she was on her way into the ring to do her promo. And she got, you know what? And here's the funny thing. She got in the ring and cut a promo, which was basically a shoot and made a whole lot of fucking sense. And I'm saying to myself, well, yeah, you can't disagree with her. And she was saying that she's the Intercontinental Champion. And why does she have to face two people that she's already beaten? And they had a match last week to see who would be the winner to go on and face her, and they beat each other. It was a draw, which was the stupidest fucking finish I've seen in I can't tell you how many years. No, I could tell you I saw another stupid finish, and I'll discuss that off air. But what the fuck? And then Lyra gets in the ring and starts talking like telling Becky she's like in a fantasy world or whatever the hell she said. But I'm like, no, she just pulled a total shoot and told the truth.
Who cares?
Yeah, nobody. That's the thing. Nobody fucking cared. The crowd didn't give two shits.
You know, I noticed that. There you go. I noticed that a lot tonight. The crowd didn't care with
Dead,
a lot of it.
dead.
You know, I did. I believe it may have been the opening match with Rosie Perez and whatever her name was.
Kari Sane.
Kari, yeah, the crowd was so dead that they were piping in the crowd without a doubt. Without a doubt, they definitely piped in crowd reaction.
Well, this is why they're doing these more of these shows like in Saudi Arabia, this Paris show, because those crowds over there are electric.
Yeah,
And over here, it's like they didn't even put the plug in. It's
yeah, you can't sell yeet here, man.
hey, very yeah. Gianni just said the crowd was flat. Flat was not the word. Um, all right, so next up we had a another backstage promo that went nowhere. Seth Breaker, Bronson, and Paul comes in to tell them that he just found out that Sami Zayn is out indefinitely. So we might see him as El Grande Americano. Wouldn't it be funny if every week they put somebody different under the hood? Tall, small, fat, like just a different person each week would be hysterical.
It's more entertaining than what they got going on now with all these backstage segments that lead to nothing. Nobody
Nothing.
cares. You know, seriously, man, I believe nobody cares anymore. And it's starting to catch up. What I'm saying is going to start making a lot more sense more and more every week. No one cares. No one's buying this shit. You're giving pay-per-views every 2 weeks. TKO is going to crash and burn with crash and burn the WE stocks along with the career of Triple Nose, and Vince will have his way with them.
I I will totally disagree. I don't think you're ever going to see Vince back with WWE.
Ah, boy. You guys, you just don't realize the way the world works, do you?
No, I realize. I
Yeah.
realize.
Well, in wrestling, they have this saying, Chubby, and you know it better than anyone. Everybody gets forgiven and comes back, and never say never when
No,
it comes.
never say never is the
Never say
biggest
never.
biggest thing in wrestling.
That's right.
That's right. Um, all right. So next up, we had the Jey Uso Bronson Reed match, which was a nice match. I was very much happy with the match. Was liking the direction until the lame fucking disqualification finish. I don't they're on the outside fighting. They're trying to put each other through a table. They're super kicking over a chair, and then Bronson Reed throws a chair as Jay was going to do was his fly back to the outside, and that's a disqualification. Why?
It's
What?
never been a disqualification when McIntyre does it.
Exactly.
It's like I told you. It's
Bad booking, bad
it's
finish.
laxidate. I think the word is lackadaisical.
Yes.
And they're selling the Snickers, man douche.
I
Think
would love to
wig.
know.
There were so many commercials tonight; it was sickening.
Well, how about
That's
even
not. I'm not even talking about the commercial breaks. I'm talking about just the product placement alone. Just the product
Coco
placement
said that to
alone.
me tonight. She said,
It's
"Look at
amazing,
all the
man.
advertising going on in that ring."
Yes, and not and around ringside and
Yeah.
around ring. Could the Coco see the Slim Jim tables now?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Every table has a Slim Jim fucking logo on it, except for if you noticed in Saudi Arabia there is no advertising.
Well, they don't. I believe in Saudi Arabia you couldn't sell Slim Jim.
Probably not. Probably not. Let me run through some comments real quick. All right. Magic Mike says, I think WWE is doing much better since moving to Netflix and USA is losing money.
The reason why USA is losing money is because WE's not there.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you can't make money with CSI.
Gianni says, when I played sports at the end of the year, my generation never got a participation trophy, and I'm proud of that. Me neither. I got a kick in the balls. Mike says, I've seen a lot of no title rematches in the Indies, especially during my time, and step to the back of the line quote was used often. Crowd was flat. Mike says, I love that Lyra kicked ass. I can't stand that girl.
I think Mike just says stuff to hear himself.
No, believe me, that's the way Mike thinks.
No, he argues with himself in a mirror. I'm telling you, this is what kids do that don't have anybody, that don't have any friends. They argue with everybody that they can talk to. This way, they get 5 minutes of time out of them. It's wasted.
What do you think of that Lyra? I mean, in ring, she works nicely. I'm not saying she's coming along nicely. She's a young talent, but she annoys the living fucking hell out of me just looking at her.
You know what? You feel the same way I do, and that's that thing when a person has it or they don't. She definitely doesn't. I think Jordan Grace would be better in her spot. And remember, Jordan Grace was called up at the same time as her, and Jordan Grace got sent back down, and this girl gets called up. I don't understand who's making these decisions. I truly don't. And do me a favor, don't read another one of these Magic Mike comments.
Come on, I love
I'm
Mike.
I'm gonna lose my mind if he says one more thing that makes no sense.
Wait. I should have him say who he feels is the greatest wrestler of all time.
Me?
Well, besides you. Michelle said the crowd was sleeping the whole night. Hey now, Philly crowd isn't quiet. No, the Philly crowd's smart. The character's going to be the next Doink where there's going to be 20 different people playing the same character. That would be funny. And then all of a sudden they all come out at one time.
Despite what you may have heard, there was only 3 people that played Doink. And Mike Kaluuya doesn't count as one on the indie circuit, or neither does Tom Brandy.
WWE booking is very like a days ago. Uh, let's see. Say, I like to take a walk in Mike's mind. I see sun, sunshine, lollipops, and wrestling. That's Magic Mike.
He probably thinks the first WrestleMania was good too.
uh, if you would like to say your thoughts on WrestleMania 1 and your favorite wrestler, please do. All right. LA Knight promo for Saturday night's main event. It's going to
Oh
be
my
LA
God.
Knight versus Seth. Did now in that vignette promo, I said to myself, he's stealing Steve Austin's gimmick.
He's stealing the Steve Austin gimmick. He's stealing the Rock's gimmick. And I tell my girl he should be collecting trash in LA because that's about what he looks like. He looks like a trash collector. I don't know how he got his job. I understand why it took him 40 years to get into the WWE. I understand that, flattery. What is that? Emulation is the greatest form of flattery. Well, this dude is insulting the people's intelligence at this point. If anybody's buying that he's a top talent, that's a joke. He's far from a main roster talent.
He's stealing everyone's gimmick and doing a horrible job at it.
Yes. Yes.
All right, next up we had another fucking promo. Io Sky versus Rhea for their match on Sunday night at Evolution, which I'm guessing Rhea will finally beat Io and become champion, which in turn, here's I'm going to throw this little prediction out there. Wouldn't it be interesting to see a fellow goth girl come in, a former world champion, to come in and challenge Rhea for the belt? The return of Paige on Sunday night.
Well, you're not making a prediction there. I think that's not the best kept secret. There's also talk again of
AJ Lee.
the man of the house, CM Punk's house, AJ Lee. Yeah, but you know what? These are just rumors, and these rumors are created by the idiots like Dave Meltzer and the rest of these morons that don't have a clue. I'm sure that also in that is Dave Meltzer and who's the dude that used to be in WCW and bankrupt them?
Oh. Bischoff?
Bischoff, Eric Bischoff. Yeah, yeah. Listen, man, it's easy to make these predictions if you have some inside rumor knowledge. Quite seriously, Paige probably will go back here because she has been trying to, like, blow it off as if,
Yeah.
oh no,
Yeah.
no, she's trying too hard, and who cares, man?
But
She's just another one, man. Her
did
her
you?
time is long
Yeah.
gone, bro. Seriously, you got new girls that are in this WWE. Yeah, I think all these girls need to give it up, man. Go home, do some dishes, make some dinner, make some babies, do what yous are made for.
Well, did you see what she revealed on her podcast the other day? Um,
That she slept with Xavier Woods.
no, that she slept with some dude she met on a dating app in the old abandoned LA Zoo recently. Like, why would you just throw that out there? Like, who gives a fuck?
Because she's a pig. Because she's a
She
pig. Shock value. Listen, she could be
she's
lying.
dying for attention.
Dying for attention is that this is like the Monet and the rest of them. Give it up, man. OnlyFans, and maybe you should do nude bull riding. I'm sick
Oh
and tired.
shit!
I'm sick and tired of these people. They've had their 15 minutes of fame. Move on.
All right, all
You
right.
ever notice that wrestlers can never let go of their of their character and be real?
Hey, look at us.
I'm not trying to be Johnny HotBody. I'm as real as it gets, bro. Fuck right. Listen, I told you. I told you, man. Boy, oh boy, I got no books to sell. I got nothing, bro. All I got is this. I speak my mind, and that's what I'm good at.
I got stuff to sell. um. All right. Let me. I'll start with this comment from Magic Mike. I liked WrestleMania 1.
Oh my god. See, I
And
told you, this kid will say anything to irk Johnny Hotbody.
and his favorite wrestler of all time is Hulk Hogan.
Oh boy. This is how starving for attention Hulk Hogan is. He has Bubba the Love Sponge go on the air and throw this false story out there that Hogan's dying because he's got such bad publicity for this Bud Light beer that's rebranded as Hulkamania beer, for saying things and then denying that he said them. Listen, dude, we all say things, man. If you would have owned up to whatever you said wrong in the very, very beginning, maybe all your troubles would have went away, Hawkster. You shouldn't be starving for attention and looking for the people to cry for you because you're on your deathbed. Bullshit. You're on your deathbed like that wasn't a setup with Bubba the Love Sponge's wife.
So what's going on with him? Is he really
Who
is he really
cares?
well, I mean,
Like I said,
look,
listen, man, you
I
got to
I don't
put
want
some
to see
attention,
nobody
man.
sick or nothing.
Listen, it ain't about nobody being sick or anything like that. When you're starving for attention, you're out of the limelight, you make up stories for pity party. Why don't you put up these millionaires that also they put up these what is it? You got to send me money because I don't have any money. Send me money because I don't have any money. You are a millionaire, bro. You don't have any money. Send me money. Yeah, oh, I'm on my deathbed. Send me money. You were a billionaire. You wouldn't give anybody the time of day. Oh, give me money. And
I'm
it
I'm
seems
I'm
like the
not going to dispute
WrestleCon.
it.
It seems like the WrestleCon has more meaning each time you hear the word.
There you go. So, all right, next matchup we had Mr. El Grande Americano making his debut, which was El Grande Ludwig taking on Dragon Lee. Not a bad match considering you got Ludwig trying to wrestle lucha style.
I think his match had less flubs than the first match,
Agreed.
number one.
Agreed.
So for Magic Mike to openly openly say in a room where there's more people that know more about wrestling than him, obviously, that match was good. I would have to contend that the match right there, El Grande of Ludwig, was a 10 time better match, and it was more entertaining. Just for the simple fact that you hear the arguing between Michael Cole and Corey Graves about knowing who the identity is or isn't.
And
And the Golf of America got in there too.
how about that? Um, and also, real quick, a little commentator note. Pat McAfee is taking time off from WWE, so it looks like we're going to have a lot more Corey Graves probably for the next 6 months.
And I think not for nothing, Pat McAfee doesn't deserve to just be able to walk in and take Corey Gray's job.
Agreed.
Corey's been there a long time. He's paid his dues. He's 10 times better at it. And trust me, if Vince McMahon was there, there wouldn't be a Pat McAfee on the WWE. I don't think
I
he I don't think he would allow for all these ass clowns to just make like they're all of a sudden wrestling aficionados.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I do like McAfee, but I really like Corey, and I'm a Corey fan, and I hope they treat him right. It's overdue.
I like Wade Barrett, Corey Graves, Joe Tessarosa, whatever his name is. I think he's doing an excellent job at it. And I'd get rid of Michael Cole. He needs to go.
Yeah, I'm not impressed. Tonight was the first night I heard Michael Cole really come to life, and I think it was during the Gunther Goldberg promo, which was up next when Goldberg laid out Gunther.
Michael Cole, the only time he gets excited is for a prostate examination. That's what I heard. Good source.
Oh my God.
I don't like Michael Cole. I'm sorry.
Excuse me.
He undermined Vince McMahon. I like the fact that Vince McMahon used to make him go home and cry every night. Little bitch.
So we had the in-ring promo next. Gunther gets on the mic, starts ragging on Goldberg, and out of nowhere, Goldberg comes pulling up in his old school Chevelle, comes walking in.
Couldn't even drive. I
no,
think he was as drunk as Stone Cold was when he hit the barricade.
It's going to be a interesting situation when he wins the belt Saturday night.
Yeah, they're making it look that way, aren't they?
They really are.
Nah, it ain't happening. Not happening, my friend. Will not happen. Will not happen.
I mean, if he does, it'd be a perfect setup for Seth to come in and take the belt.
And if it did, it would show you that they have more. They have more. They have more belief in Gunther's character than they do Seth's.
I feel that Gunther has really gotten a raw deal the last few months.
I think it's called eating shit.
Yeah.
You eat shit before you make it to the top. If you're able to eat the shit, you'll be on top a long time. Because everyone knows with being successful, you've eaten shit to be successful, or else you would have never been successful. Right. Not unless you got that nepotism clause that comes in.
Mm. Well, after that, we had the final match, your main event of the night. Penta taking on Seth freaking Rollins. Nice match. Definitely match of the night. Loved it. I was trying to think how I wanted to say this. It was just, I was expecting a little more for the finish. It was an okay finish, but I'm thinking main event, make it a little more exciting, but they made it exciting with their trash man running in to make the save as Paulie gets on the phone, makes the call. We need you now. Get down here, get down here, get down here. Did you think he was calling them, or did you think he was calling a new person?
No, they don't have any creativity to call up a new person, quite seriously. And if they did at this point bring in a new person, it would only prove that they're feeling and they're just reaching for it at this point. It's not getting over the whole Seth Rollins, Braun, and Bronson gimmick. I think it's doing well the way it is. It's not going to go any further than when Roman Reigns comes back and they decide where Roman Reigns is going to sit in the picture, because they're saying Roman Reigns against Seth would be WrestleMania.
So there was actually in the opening promo tonight a mention of Roman, which led me to think he must be coming back soon.
He is. He is. He's getting done the movie, the thing that he's doing. He's set to play some. Let me get this right, because everybody likes to Johnny don't know. Some what do you call that when the games, man? These games that you play.
Video games?
I never played these video
Vid-
games.
Video games.
I never played that shit. You fucking got time to sit in front of a TV and play with
Not
your
me.
joystick. But anyway, that's my opinion. I don't play with my joystick. I let my girl do that. But anyway, when it comes to this, there's some new fighting thing that's being redone, that's been out from the 80s, from Atari, whatever, Nintendo. They're redoing it. Street Fighter, or
Oh
you know,
yeah.
karate punch.
Yeah,
I don't know,
yeah.
body blow, body blow, body blow. Yeah,
Right.
whatever that was back then. Yeah, well, you got what's his name? Cody Rhodes. You have John Cena. You have the Scottish Warrior. They're all in.
Oh, they're all in it?
They're well, the main ones. They're being part of that, and yeah, and then there's another game they're releasing where Shaq's involved in here, and Snoop Dogg, and yeah, it's like I said, they'll let any asshole in a ring and wrestle nowadays.
Well, on that note, let me run through some comics real quick to wrap it up. Let me see. All right, so Magic Mike says that it was not true what Bubba the Love Sponge was saying. He was just saying that on his own, that B. Brian Blair put all the rumors to rest on Facebook, and that Hulk is fine. And that also Hulk is opening a new bar across from MSG. He's not on his deathbed. Here's the thing.
He's not. Listen, Mike Ferreira. He's not opening a new bar. He bought the Hooters. He
Well,
bought the franchise of Hooters, or not he did. The Great American Beer representatives,
yeah.
which are Anheuser-Busch. He's the new Hooters bars. Listen, man. Mike, please stop, Mike.
But he also listen. He's opening in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, one of his Hulk Hogan Chachi shops with all his merchandise and all. But with all this stuff going on, we haven't seen him. So there's something going on. That's the thing. He's hiding something. I'll just say that.
Mike, I'm going to ask you a question, Mike. Have you ever even listened to Bubba the Love Sponge? That's number one, Mike. And don't look up on Google. Don't. I followed, but I didn't follow. I never followed anyone. I used to be a listener to Bubba the Love Sponge when he was on Sirius Satellite Radio with Howard Stern. I listened to him for over 10 years, every morning. I know the Bubba the Love Sponge. I know Bubba and Hawkster are best friends. And anything that Bubba the Love Sponge says is pure hyperbole, number one. And Hogan and him are bestest of friends,
Are they
regardless.
still friends? I thought they had a falling out.
Listen, there's no falling out. How could he have a falling out when Bubba the Love Sponge is his son Nick's godfather?
Yeah, that don't mean nothing.
Do I need? I mean, Hogan was his best man to the girl that he was banging, that Bubba let him bang. because Bubba was so fat he couldn't bang his own girl. Does Mike know any of that? No, Mike don't know any of that.
All right, the El Grande match was better than the WrestleMania one. Just saying.
Yes, it was. It was good. It was probably the best match on the card as far as what I think.
Mike likes Corey Graves. Vince had Pat there. He hired Pat. That's what I honestly I thought so.
Did he?
Yeah. He loves
Well, that's
Pat.
good that you love Pat, Mike. I don't. I think he's a blowhard. Corey Graves is way better. He deserves the job. Michael Cole deserves to go. He's had it long enough there. What's he trying to do? Set a record? He'll never be Gordon Soley, and he'll never be JR.
The only time I like Cole is when he got a wedgie from DX. Goldberg is going over with the help from his son. I think Johnny should listen to my podcast, Pro Wrestling Now with Magic Mike Ferrara on Spotify. Little plug.
Listen, you're lucky if you got 5 people listening to you, and I'm not going to be the 6th.
Great heel finish from Seth.
If Mike had a good show, he'd have me on it.
Let me ask you guys. Would WWE be the same WWE if Heyman was the head booker and not Triple H? And I'm not trying to upset Johnny. It would.
Yeah, it'd be the same. It would be no different because what you're getting with most of the guys that are in the main writing upper class are being thought of with Heyman. He's the one, he's the genius that invented ECW, I mean.
I think Paul is the main man behind the whole Seth angle naturally. I think that's his main story that he's involved in and focused on because you just see so much of his stuff in there. So
I'm not a fan of what's going on with Seth's story.
I want to see where it's going. That's the thing. I feel like it's hit a low.
Yeah, and they don't know where to go with it, and you could see that, like you're saying, it's not getting over with the fans. I'm a visionary. You're at this point, you're just repeating yourself, dude. Come up with something new. You have to be original in professional wrestling to stay on top. When you repeat yourself, what are your ratings? What do you figure? A couple million people a week are watching you. A few 100 million people are watching you. How many times are you going to repeat yourself when people are just going to shut it off? There's so many better programs on. Like, seriously, if I didn't have to do this tonight, you know what I would have been watching over professional wrestling? Shark Week. Shark Month. I'm sorry, Shark Month.
Oh, now it's a month. They got a whole month.
Yeah,
The
Shark Week.
Sharks are that over.
Yeah, man, they get a month, man. Definitely on National Geographic's Wild Channel. I love that stuff, man. I ain't got time for this wrestling.
All right, well, that seems to be it. I'm going to thank everybody for tuning in. We will be all right. So we got a busy fucking weekend coming up. We'll definitely be on for Saturday night's main event. We'll be on for Evolution. We'll be on for Monday night. I don't know if I'm going to watch the NXT show or not.
I'm going to tell you something. We're not going to do anything on it, and when you get to watch everything else at the end of the night or the end of the weekend, you're going to say, I should have did a show on NXT.
Yeah, it'll probably end up being the best show.
I think they got good talent there.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
They have a good thing going there. I don't like the storyline of The Rock's daughter and Shawn Michaels being the ones that are doing all the work there, because they're not. They're not the only ones doing the work there. Definitely, it's got the same writers' handwritings all over it.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't know if I'll tune in. We'll see. Maybe I'll watch it. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing Saturday afternoon yet. It's too far ahead.
You know what they say: if you watch too much wrestling, you're going to go blind.
It's why I wear glasses. So, on that note, everybody, thank you so much. Make sure, if you haven't already, go down below, hit the subscribe button, hit the follow button if you're watching on Facebook. Help us grow the numbers. Keep dropping those comments. Give us a thumbs up. You want to give us a thumbs down? Do that too. We don't mind. We don't care. Do it. And yeah, tons of stuff going on.
Just remember everything Johnny says to you guys out there. I'm just making you guys feel good about being part of the show. If I don't rib yous and if I don't irk you, I'm not doing my job. With that being said, thank you all for watching.
Until Saturday.
Hyperbole.